Here we are with Ben Clemens. Ben, you're a high school student right now, so we want to get to know you just a little bit. So, first thing that we do is we call it a game of threes or the thing of three. So, we want a couple of your favorite things here. So, first thing is you could pick three of these things in these categories, or pick one in each category, whatever you kind of want. So, what's your favorite movie? Your favorite food? Favorite artist? Favorite author? Or favorite time of the year?
Okay, I'd say my favorite movie is a movie called Peanut Butter Falcon. It's not really popular, but I really like it. Um, my favorite band would be the Eagles. I'm into classic rock, so I like them a lot. And then my favorite time of the year is the fall.
Nice. So you had to, for the next one, pick one of each in these categories. So, would you rather go to a beach or a mountain? Do you like sweet or salty foods? And do you like dogs or cats?
Mm. I'd say I like the one I'm choosing is dogs and cats because I like dogs. I have one dog and two cats, but I do like my dog better. I'm gonna be honest.
Nice. Last one here then is three words that you think describe you.
Hmm. I'd say I'm a responsible guy. Um, this is two words, but hardworking.
I think that's hyphenated, so that counts. No worries.
Okay, perfect. And persistent.
Perfect. All right. So we got a little background information on you. Next thing that we would like to know is a little bit about your family. So, did you always grow up in Hastings? Did you eventually move to Hastings? Tells you about your brothers, sisters, mom, dad, where they work. Just kind of give us the Clemens family and you growing up, a little tidbit of you growing up.
All right, so I've always lived in Hastings. I live kind of by Vermilion, so not really in Hastings, but still like my address says Hastings. I've lived here all my life, and yeah.
And then what about your family?
And
Mom,
then
dad, brothers, sisters. Give us a little bit on that.
I have an older brother named Nate. He goes to Iowa State right now. I have an older brother, older sister Emily. She goes to Stout, and then a younger brother Ryan, and he's a freshman this year. And then I live with my mom and my dad and Ryan right now.
Perfect. So tell us about the schools that you went to as well. So live in South Town. What schools did you attend in Hastings? Elementary, middle, and then obviously you're at the high school right now too.
Yeah, so I started out my school career at St. John the Baptist in Vermilion. That was from my elementary school, kindergarten to fourth grade. And then fifth grade, I went to the middle school, Hastings Middle School. And then, yeah, now I'm at the high school.
Perfect. What do you think one of your earliest sports memories were growing up too? So this could be playing catch with one of your brothers in the backyard. It could be playing catch with your dad in the backyard. It could be maybe a sporting event you saw on the TV. So maybe what do you think one of your best or your earliest sports memory have been?
I think one of my earliest sports memories was with hockey. I started hockey when I was really young, like 3 years old. And I remember my second year playing, I got to play with my younger brother Ryan. We were on the same team. That was back in Mites, and we got to play like the end of the year tourney. I had a lot of fun that year.
Sweet. So then talking about you too. So we focus a lot about sports. This is kind of mainly a sports podcast. So talking about you and your youth sports journey. So talking about all the sports you played growing up. Did you try a huge variety of sports? Were you kind of locked into one growing up? Did you kind of start playing a sport because one of your older brothers or your sister were involved in a sport? So talk about the sports you played and maybe stop right around. I like stopping right around middle school. So kind of right when you got to the middle school.
Okay, so I started out playing hockey. Um, Both of my older siblings started out with that too. And then when I got to the middle school, I started playing football, and then I played a little bit of soccer in there too. I think when I was like 6, I started playing soccer. That only lasted a couple of years. I played t-ball from when I was really young, and then I stopped around 6th grade. I went to through baseball for like a couple of years there, and then when I stopped playing baseball, that's where I started playing lacrosse. both my older brother Nate and then younger brother Ryan, they were playing lacrosse before me, and then they convinced me to join.
Nice. So what was that conversation like when they convinced you? Was it something that you just saw them playing? Was it something that was with your hockey background too? Was it kind of easy to transfer or transition into to lacrosse, or just kind of saw it, it looked like fun, and just picked up the stick and started going?
Yeah, so it does help with being in hockey. They're pretty similar sports. But Nate and Ryan were playing out in the backyard. They were throwing the ball around, and I decided to join them. And then they kind of helped me kind of grow in my earlier years. I think that was really helpful having an older brother to just kind of lead me through it.
For sure. So then let's get into middle school then. Did you still play all those sports too? So you talked about football, or you said you played Little Raiders football, correct? Did you,
Yep.
if you continue with that in the middle school, hockey, lacrosse? Talk about if you played any other sports in middle school as well, or did you start focusing in on a couple different sports, and what that looked like in high school or middle school as well? Because sometimes a lot of the people that we have on here, they start playing a varsity or JV level in middle school. So talk about each level that you played at and what sports you played as well.
Yeah. So I started middle school. I was playing baseball, and I also played hockey. And then I started playing lacrosse sixth grade year. And then also in middle school, I ran track, and that was pretty fun. Um, and then I played football. I played Little Raiders fifth and sixth grade, and then with the middle school, I played football seventh and eighth grade year. And then yeah, yeah. So I was four sport athlete pretty much through the middle school.
Nice. So then you get to ninth grade, things do start changing a little bit when you get to the high school level too. So sometimes you gotta, some people gotta cut down on all the activities they do. So talk about the sports that you continue playing at the ninth grade level, and then you're a junior right now as well. So talk about each year, ninth and tenth and 11th grade, and the sports you played and the level you played, and then if you have any accomplishments that go along with each sport as well, talk about that.
Yeah. So freshman year started out with football. That went pretty good. We had a good season that year. And then I played hockey. I was in Bantams. And then that winter, actually, I dislocated my shoulder. And so I had to get surgery on that. So that ended my season short. And then I also didn't get to play lacrosse then freshman year. So I was still sticking with the team I was helping out. And then I did get to play like the last three games I got to play freshman year. So that was good. And then I didn't continue with track though because I had lacrosse. And then 10th grade year, played football. Um, and then at the end of the year, I kind of got brought up to varsity. So that was a cool experience. Um, and then hockey, I didn't make the JV team, but that was okay because I played on the U16 club team. And that was a whole lot of fun that year. And then with COVID, we didn't have lacrosse season that year. And then now this year, my junior year, I played football. I was on the varsity team. And then I played a lot of JV too. And then for hockey, I did make the JV team, and that was a whole lot of fun this year too, playing hockey. And then now I'm on the lacrosse team, playing a little bit of varsity and JV.
Nice. Is your little brother playing at the high school level for lacrosse as well?
Yeah, yep, he's playing a little bit of both too. We're kind of in the same position.
Nice, nice. Competing against your brother. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Uh, Also about you, I know a lot of people may not know about this, but you are a stellar student as well. So talk about what role academics play in your life, and why you put so much weight and effort into school as well, and maybe how that helps you as a student as well, or how that helps you as an athlete as well.
Yeah, so I put a lot of importance in my academics. I have a 4.0 right now. I'm in the top 10, and I'm taking mostly honors classes too. So I think I like the discipline it kind of gives me. Um, and without sports, it gives me something to do too. Um, yeah, and I think I like to challenge myself in school. and it gives me a good outlet for that.
for sure. So I know you're only a junior right now, but have you thought about college plans or what you would want to major in or anywhere that you would want to go as well for college?
I've been looking around. I think like Iowa State, maybe NDSU. I've looked at a couple schools around there. I think I want to go to engineering, mechanical engineering, maybe. Um, but yeah, not a whole lot.
Nice. So I know sports, and we talk about academics play a huge role in your life. Anything that you like doing outside of sports, hunting, fishing, just hanging out with friends, anything like
Yeah,
that?
I go hunting a lot. I go deer hunting in the fall and then turkey hunting in the spring, and then I also shoot trap in the spring too. Um, yeah, I go hunting a lot. I like that. And then I do go fishing too. I have a cabin on the river, and we go fishing a lot there in the summertime.
Nice. So obviously, as a three-sport athlete and doing trap as well, a lot of people have a lot of different reasons why they play sports. So you're a three-sport athlete. Why do you think one of the biggest reasons you've played sports your whole life and continue to play sports now while you're in high school?
I think the main reason is just because it's fun. You know, I got a lot of friends in each different sports, and there's just kind of different groups. Um, and that's fun. It's good to mix it up instead of like if I were a one sport athlete, I feel like I'd get burnt out pretty quick with that. Um, but yeah, I like that it's a lot of fun for me playing these sports.
Do you think playing multiple sports, being a three-sport athlete, along with doing trap, do you think you get like maybe a little hungry for each sport? So you're playing football, football season ends, and you get right into hockey, and you're excited, you're energized to play a different sport. Or what's that transition like going from each sport throughout the year?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, like the transition areas. Like you kind of miss your old season, but then you're also looking forward to your new season. I kind of like that. It's nice, like right at the start of the season, you get really excited for the new season.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think I like the change of it. It keeps you on your toes and keeps you moving.
For sure. So, what do you think one of the best or most rewarding things is by being a part of athletics? Maybe at Hastings High School, or just being part of athletics in general. The most or the best rewarding pieces.
I think the most rewarding part is just the kind of sense of community. You know, there's a lot of good athletes here in the Hastings community, and you kind of being in so many sports, you get a good relationship with so many people, such a variety of people. I really enjoy that.
For sure. So, playing three sports, 3 different years of high school, you got a lot of memories, a lot of experiences. What do you think one of your favorite moments has been as an athlete at Hastings High School?
Mm. I'd probably have to say it was our sophomore year. We played against Park in football. That was a big game because we were just the 10th grade team. We were playing their JV team, and Park is usually one of our big rivals. And so it was a really drawn out battle between us. It was a really hard fought game, and we did eventually win it. And I had a lot of fun that game.
Nice. A lot of people define success a bunch of different ways. So, Ben, what do you think success means to you, or how would you define success?
I think success can mean a lot of things. Sometimes it may be winning that game. Sometimes it might just be like becoming a better version of yourself or getting something out of what you're doing. I think it kind of depends on the situation too.
Hmm. For sure. I definitely agree with you on that. So once again, you played 3 different sports so far at the high school. A lot of coaches growing up as well, youth, middle school, high school level, multiple different sports. So who do you think one of the best coaches you've had throughout your career? And it doesn't have to be someone that's been super successful, but maybe someone that really taught you something that you really hung on to, that you apply to your life all the time. So who's one of those coaches that has made a pretty big impact on your life?
I'd say one coach, his name is Richard Charlton. He's been my lacrosse coach for quite a few years now. Um, and the thing is, like, he grew up, he didn't really play lacrosse. He wasn't a lacrosse guy. But he's still a great coach at lacrosse. So it kind of shows that you don't need to be like a specific thing. You can be all sorts of things and still be good at what you do. He's just a really hard worker, and he pushes us to work hard, and I really enjoy that. I think it's great that he's pretty disciplined too, and that it's a good thing to have discipline. I think keeps you in line.
For sure. So what about a teammate as well? So once again, multiple different sports growing up, youth, middle school, high school. You played on a lot of different teams. Who do you think one of your best or most valuable teammates you've played with? Someone that really taught you something that you hung on to. And since you played so many sports too, you could pick one person in each sport, or maybe just pick one person that you really kind of cling on to. And it could be an older person that really taught you something that you hang on to, or someone, one of your peers, or someone younger than you as well. So one of your best or most valuable teammates.
I'd have to say my most valuable teammate was Alex Foster. He was like me. He was a three-sport athlete with football, hockey, and lacrosse. I got to play with him in football and lacrosse. And I knew him since middle school too, which was cool. He started playing varsity lacrosse at 8th grade, and so I looked up to him like back then. And I kind of knew him back then, and yeah, he was a really great friend, and he helped me transition to the high school too when I got there.
Awesome.
Hmm.
So you already talked about Parkwood football, and you could use them again for this answer, but if you want to pick someone for each sport as well, that's okay. So it might be different for hockey and lacrosse and football. So what's one opponent that you really look forward to playing? Someone that really brings out the best in you. You know, you got the calendar and you circle that one about three or four different times, and you're always looking forward to that game. So opponent that you really like playing that really brings out the best in you.
I think my favorite opponent is St. Thomas Academy. I think they're very consistently good team. And I think that's good. I think that was our best game in football this year when we played STA. Even though we lost, we fought all the way to the end, and it was a good battle, and we learned a lot from that game. I think they're always a good group to play just because it gives you a good benchmark to see where you're at too. Um, and those are always hard fought games. Those are always fun.
Sweet. Last couple questions then for you, Ben. So if you could give parents or coaches two pieces of advice from your experiences, your perspective playing youth, middle school, high school level as a junior in high school as well, and like you said, a 4.0 student, what would your two pieces of advice be and why?
I'd say one advice piece I would give is to just kind of relax. It's not like we're professionals. I mean, there's a good time to be serious and there's a good time to have fun. Um, I think that a lot of times people get like really wrapped up into it. Um, but a lot of times you just kind of got to move on and roll with the punches. And then another piece of advice I'd have is to challenge your kids or your athletes that you're coaching. I think it's um, a lot of times they just kind of let you go and do your own thing. I think it's good to challenge you. A challenge is good to grow, I think.
For sure. What about younger students or maybe your peers as well? So other people that are student athletes just like you. What about two pieces of advice from your perspective, your experiences for student athletes?
I think one piece of advice I have is to just kind of make sure you're enjoying it. Like a lot of times you can kind of just get wrapped up into doing stuff and keeping continuing doing stuff, like even if you don't enjoy it. I think it's good to make sure that you are. You just kind of look out for yourself in that way.
Wonderful.
And then also, like kind of going off that, to make time for yourself. Like I got a lot of stuff going on, but I also gotta, you know, take that time to slow down and relax as well.
I love it. Ben, that's all the questions I got for you. So the mic is yours. Anything else that I didn't ask you, you want to talk about? Any questions for me? Anything you'd like to say? The floor is all yours.
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. I think it's really cool to get my voice out and kind of express myself in this way.
No
Thank
worries
you.
at all. Thank you, Ben.